Hi kids, it is should be Wednesday morning and we are having our first math lesson, and I hope that you have had a wonderful spring break. I have missed you all. I know this is a very odd time for us all, but I'm praying for each and every one of you, and that we will be back in our classrooms soon and continue on where we left off. In the meantime, when we do math every day during the week, Monday through Friday, I am expecting you all to still do your math meeting and your math counting. So I have put in a packet for your parents, your math folder, which will have your counting sheets in there. You may not have that yet, and if you don't, that is fine. You can just use a piece of paper. I did go over this with your parents in an email, so they should know what to do, but you also know what to do because you are so good at this. So if you have your math folder, get out your math counting sheet. And if you do not, just use a piece of paper. And let me see where I wrote down what we are doing. So you need to show 8:55 on a clock to someone in your family. And I've also sent home our little clock faces, but that is in your packet that your parents are supposed to pick up today or tomorrow. So if you do not have that, maybe there's something you can show show 8:55 on your clock. As far as our counting goes, we are starting at number 192, and we are counting by twos. So we would write 192, 194, 196, 198, 200, and so on. And there are 10 problems in each row, and there are 3 rows. So you would write down 30 numbers until you came to the end. Also, what I would like for you to do each day is you are going to have a math amount, a money amount, and I would like for you to show someone in your family that amount. So the amount given today was $1.21. And if you have a bunch of loose change laying around, it would be fun to get out your quarters, your dimes, your nickels, and your pennies and show a family member $1.21. If not, you can draw $1.21 and just do how we did in class, where you'd make a circle and put 25 in the middle for 25 and a smaller circle for a dime and put 10 cents in there. So you could draw it out that way. But this will help you practice your counting change, which is so very important. So I hope that explains the math meeting. Each day in an email, your parents will get this information and you can look at it and you can do the meeting all by yourself. I might mention it on certain days and I might not mention it on certain days. So we'll just see how it goes. But that's something you can keep up with. Okay, so in your packet, it has that we are starting at lesson 106. And I believe lesson 105 is actually what is going to be in your packet on top, which is fine. It is a review page, actually. So you should be able to do this on your own. It has making addition problems using only odd numbers, which I know you know how to do. It has us drawing line segments using centimeters, and I'm hoping you all have a ruler and can do that and show your parents. And then it's got some other things on here that we have worked on as a class, and you all are such great readers that I know you're going to be able to work through this and complete it on your own, or ask your parents for help if you need help reading a word. Since we are not in school all day, I only want you to do side A of your math sheets. So on your own, you will do side A of 105. And then we will start with lesson 106. And let me see where I put that. It's going to be a learning curve here, kids, as I figure out how to manage everything. Okay, here we go. So today we are talking about how to tell time at the 1 minute interval. So we have learned how to count time at 30 minutes past or a half hour past, and we have learned 5 minute intervals, and you all are so good at counting by fives and telling time to 5 minutes. But today we are going to talk about learning how to tell time in 1 minute or to 1 minute. So I want to show you an example on my little clock here. I know you all know this shows 10 o'clock. And we have learned if we go to the 1, that that shows 10:05. How we got to the 1, see if I can get this better for you, is what the clock actually does. If you watch it, it goes 10:01, 10:02, 10:03, 10:04, 10:05. So each little mark in between there is actually 1 minute. And 1 minute, think about for a minute what you could do that takes about 1 minute. I thought about this. Going out and getting a drink from the water fountain would take about 1 minute. Tying your shoe would take about 1 minute. And I want you to think of some other things that may take about 1 minute for you to do as we think about time. So now if I said, show me 10:01 on the clock, you would simply start at 10 o'clock and go over 1. That shows 10:01. This would show 10:02, 10:03, and so on. If I wanted you to write 10:01, this is how you would write it. Okay, if I wanted you to write 10:27, that's how you would write that. And let me show you 10:27 on the clock. So we're going to go, we know we can count by 5s down to 10:25, right? And I know you all can do that. If I said 10:25, well, what if I said 10:27? We'd go 10:25, 10:26, 10:27. Hopefully you can see that. What if I said 10:29? Well, I'd go 28, 29. So many of you probably already have your little clock face from the packet that went home today, or you have made a clock because I sent a sheet home via the email where you could print off a clock and make your own clock face. So I want you to practice telling time to the nearest minute. And one way I want you to practice this is in your packet. It should be right in the 106, right at the top where all your math papers are. There is a page and it says lesson worksheet 106. And it actually has you look at the time and write the time to the nearest minute. And then it has it done digitally and you have to fill in the clock hands. Now, if we were at school, we would spend a lot of time as a group doing our clock hands and we'd hold them up and we'd show we know what we were doing, but we're going to have to do it a little different this way. So if you look at this first one, everyone look at the first one with me, and you should have it in front of you right now. The hour hand is a little bit past the 4, so we know it's 4 something. We're going to go up and we know that if we count by 5s, that if we land on the 2, that means it's 4:10. Now we're going to count 4:11, 4:12, 4:13. So that first clock face shows 4:13. And I'm hoping that you all understood that. Let's look at the second clock face. The hour hand is a little bit closer to the 2. So we know it's close to 2, but it's not on the 2. So we know it's 1 something. The minute hand goes all the way over. Let's see. Can we remember if it's at 9, that means it would be 1:45. Because remember, we know it's 1 something. 1:45. Well, it's not on the next number, so I'm going to have to count the little lines in between. 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. So it is 1:49. And I'm going to let you try that last one alone and ask your parents to look at it and see if you got it correct. And then when we look at the ones down here, kids, it says show this time. So this one says 3:29. So you're going to do your hour hand first. We know it's probably a little bit past the 3:29. Well, we know we can't go to 4:30 because that's too far. So I'm going to go back up here, 4:20, or I'm sorry, I said 4. We know, let me start over. 3:29, so we know the hour hand is between the 3 and the 4, and then we're going to go to 3:25, 326, 327, 328, 329. And we'll make our minute hand on that last line before the 6. The next clock in the middle on the bottom shows 7:08. So we know the hour hand is going to be on the 7. And then we're going to go, let's see, 7:05, 7:10. So we can't go to 7:10. That's too far. 7:05, 7:06, 7:07, 7:08. And you're going to put your minute hand right there. Again, we would practice this a lot before we did this worksheet. So if you are having trouble with this, have your parents give you different times. Just have them say different times and you show it on your clock face and practice that and then come back and do that worksheet. Okay. So once you're done with that, you will have lesson 106. And you, at this point, this is what we do at school where I put it up on the board and we read it out loud together. Some of you want me to read it out loud and some of you don't need me to read it out loud. So again, I'm gonna read question number 1 out loud, but the rest of it I am not. And I would encourage you to ask your parents if you need some help on this or need some help with the words. But number 1 says, and remember, we're only doing 106 side A. Ahmad put the peanuts in groups of 10. When he finished, he counted 4 groups of peanuts. Draw a picture and write a number sentence to show how many peanuts he has. So we would underline, draw a picture, and write a number sentence to show how many peanuts he has, because that is what we are supposed to do. So we underline it, and that'll set that apart for us. Ahmad put the peanuts in groups of 10. When he finished, he counted 4 groups of 10. So you will draw, and you can use any shape you want, maybe just even slashes, 4 different groups of 10. So if then go down to the bottom after you've drawn your picture and you're going to fill this out. 4 groups of 10 peanuts, 4 times 10 equals 40. Go back up here and count, and that's how many peanuts you should have. And I know this might be quite confusing because we are not doing it how we do it in class. But again, I have full faith in you kiddos. You're so smart. And I know you can do it. Okay, so that is it for math today. Good luck. I've told your parents that you can email me. You can ask me questions. We can even set up a meeting face-to-face on the phone if you would like. But counting, telling time at 1-minute intervals is a pretty big deal. I'm so excited you all are learning it, and I hope you have a great day.